Today I'm reading from Mark chapter 2. And again he entered into Capernaum after some days, and it was noised that he was in the house. And straightway many were gathered together, insomuch that there was no room to receive them, no, not so much as about the door. And he preached the word unto them. And they come unto him, bringing one sick of the palsy, which was born of 4. And when they could not come nigh unto him for the press, they uncovered the roof where he was. And when they had broken it up, they let down the bed whereon the sick of the palsy lay. And Jesus saw their faith, and said unto the sick of the palsy, Son, thy sins be forgiven thee. But there were certain of the scribes sitting there, and reasoning in their hearts, Why does this man thus speak blasphemies? Who can forgive sin but God only? And immediately when Jesus perceived in his spirit that they so reasoned within themselves, he said unto them, Why reason ye these things in your hearts? Whether it is easier to say to the sick of the palsy, Thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, Arise, take up thy bed, and walk. But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins, he saith to the sick of the palsy, I say unto thee, Arise, take up thy bed, and go into thine house. And immediately he arose, took up his bed, and went forth before them all, insomuch as they were all amazed, and glorified God, saying, We never saw it in this fashion. Of course, houses had kind of a thatch kind of roof on them. Some wood would be laid, and on top of the wood there would be some leaves gathered. And we call it a thatched kind of roof. So it wouldn't be that difficult to break it up so that they could send down this one born of 4. But in particular, 2 things here I wish to point out. Number 1, starting with verse 6, But there were certain of the scribes sitting there and reasoning in their hearts, Why does this man thus speak blasphemies? Who can forgive sin but God only? Now that's a very good question, isn't it? Who can forgive sin but God only? And that's a true statement, because only God can forgive sin. Of course, they would recognize him as a prophet, but they would not recognize him as divine, that he was God in flesh. See? Well, Jesus understood. First of all, they did not verbally express their concern, but they reasoned in their hearts, come across their minds. Why doth this one speak blasphemies? Who can forgive sin but God only? Well, Jesus perceived in his spirit that they so reasoned within themselves. He knew what they were thinking. He asked the question, Why reason ye these things in your hearts? Okay? So who can forgive sin but God only? Some are trusting in a system. That is, a system devised by works to do this, to do that. Either to become saved or to keep saved. And we know that works never has and never will save anybody, nor will it keep anyone saved. Okay? Not of works, verse Ephesians 2:9. Not of works, lest any man should boast. So, living a particular lifestyle, or obeying the Ten Commandments, or going through rites and rituals is not going to provide someone with a right relationship with God. Okay? Man cannot forgive sin. I don't care who they are. Man cannot forgive sin. Okay? Only God can forgive sin. And that's a very good statement to remember when you consider many of the churches out in the world today. Okay? Now, secondly, Jesus always did things for a purpose, for a reason. His earthly ministry had a purpose and had a reason. He wasn't just there to make life easier for those under the sound of his voice, raise the quality of life. He was there to prove something. That's found in verse 10, that ye may know. The word know there is understand, that the Son of Man hath power, that word is authority, on earth to forgive sin, he said to the sick of the palsy. Okay? Who can forgive sin but God only? He says, I have the authority to do that. That's what he tells them right there. Okay? In John chapter 1, but as many as received him, speaking of Jesus, to them gave he the power, that word there again is authority, to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor the will of flesh, nor the will of man, but of God. Now, he went about his ministry, proving that he was not just a man. Okay? He did 36 miracles, each one proving not only that he had the power over sickness, the elements, demons, and even death itself. He had the power, he had the authority of God to command. Remember the Gadarene situation and the demons that were in this man, and he gave them leave to go into a herd of swine. He said, you may go. Okay? So even the demon spirits, understood that this man Jesus could not be stopped in their efforts. So, he was God on flesh, wasn't he? Only God can forgive sin. And Jesus then tells them that you may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sin. Okay? Jesus would tell his disciples, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes unto the Father but by me. Luke 19:10, the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which is lost. The only hope of redemption is through Jesus Christ. The only hope that we have in this world is through Jesus Christ. So yes, only God can forgive sin. and Jesus was God. Father in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for your love and your goodness. Thank you for your mercy that you give to us every day. We ask, Lord, that you will heal the sick, that you will heal our land. Lord, watch over us as we labor for you, and watch over those we love, and forgive us. For Christ's sake, I pray. Amen.